guys, welcome to another edition of Burton Ballers, and today I'm going to do a rate this transfer window for all 20 clubs in the Premier League. So I'm going to do a league table, and so starting from number 20 all the way to number 1. So before I get into this, please don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on all post notifications so you'll be notified every time we make a new video. Okay, in 20th position we have Burnley. Awful window for Burton. Didn't get anyone of note in. Dale Stevens at Brighton is there. Stella signing, their marquee signing. I think there's only one way for Burnley, and that's down with this window. It's awful. West Ham are next up. Again, West Ham, their biggest success was keeping hold of Declan Rice, but as far as transfers go for West Ham, nobody of note. Soucek, they turned his loan deal into a permanent one, but Ashley and Cafull or something. Who? Yeah, Manchester United next. Okay, they scrambled across the line and transfer deadline day by bringing in Edison Cavani and Tellez. Van der Beek earlier on in the window, but that's covering over the cracks. They wanted Sancho, they went all out for Sancho. It backfired, didn't get him. They needed a central defender, didn't get him. Van der Beek is their marquee signing, and he can't even get into the side at the moment. That just goes to show that they didn't need him in the first place. Long may it continue though, and so Manchester United go into the relegation zone when it comes to transfers this season. Then next up is Southampton. Southampton, they sort of clawed it out yesterday by getting a player who they let go at 17 to Arsenal. He's gone full circle and he's come back. Theo Walcott has come back to the fold, but apart from that, no great shakes in the market this year, and they will struggle, I think, this year because they haven't improved the squad from what they had on last year. Then Sheffield United. Sheffield United obviously was a surprise package last season, but they needed to strengthen from a position of strength, but they've kind of weakened because they've got rid of the goalkeeper. They've replaced him with Ramsdale. They brought in
Ethan Ampadu,
loan from Chelsea. That was good. Brewster's another one they got in. Again, with that, we don't know whether he's going to be a hit or miss. He did well at Swansea, but all in all, I don't think it was a great window for them. And then next up is Brighton. Again, Brighton didn't make great shakes. They weren't movers and shakers in the market. They bought in Liverpool's Lallana as their main guy. On form, he can do a job for them. But the problem, I think, with Lallana is that he gets injured a lot. So I think they're relying on Lallana to get them points this season. Well, forget it. It's not going to happen. Then next up is Fulham. Fulham, they bought Loftus-Cheek at the end of the window, so he may do well for them. Another one with Chelsea connections, Olarena. They got him on loan. They've got Areola, the goalkeeper. So they've got a few players. They didn't go mad like they did last time in the Premier League when they bought a whole new team, and not a whole new team, a whole new squad of about 15, 20 players. So they didn't buy as many players this time round. But I think they didn't make a lot of smart signings, I don't think. Adama Lukman may be a smart one, because he's an ex-Everton guy. They've loaned him from RB Leipzig. That may be one to look out for. But again, in the bottom half of the transfer window this year, I think. Then we got Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace, I like the guy Eze from QPR. I think he's great signing. They bought obviously on Michy Batshuayi on loan. But apart from that, they didn't really do any other good deals actually. And so I think they could have done with one or two more faces in. Then we've got West Bromwich Albion. West Bromwich Albion, some smartish buys, but is it going to be enough to keep them in the Premier League next season? Not so sure. Ivanovic, another Chelsea one. There's a lot of Chelsea feel to this one. A lot of these players coming in. He's a smart one for them because he's going to add experience at the back. They'll need him, a bit of experience in the Premier League. Diagana, so they've added experience in Ivanovic, and in Diagana they've added someone who West Ham shouldn't have got rid of. A great one for the future as well. But Pereira, the excellent Brazilian, they've turned his loan move from last season into a permanent deal. But the bits in the middle, not much to write home about. And not forgetting another Chelsea one, I forgot how to forget him, Conor Gallagher. So it'd be great to see how Conor Gallagher performs for West Bromwich Albion. He had a fantastic loan spell at Swansea, so I'm hoping for big things from him at West Bromwich Albion. So yeah, so that's kind of a mid to low table window, which reflects nicely. Wolverhampton, they're a funny one. I didn't know where to pitch Wolverhampton Wanderers actually, because they haven't made any, like, they made one standout sign actually, Semedo. That's a fantastic signing. From Barcelona, one of the top right backs in world football. They've managed to get with that Portuguese connection. George Mendes working his magic again by getting in more Portuguese players. But for me, this is like a fascinating window for Wolves. This is one to keep an eye out on, because they spent a lot of money on this Portuguese guy, Fabio Silva. They spent a record transfer on him, and he's only 18 years old. So obviously Mendes, as I said, knows that market quite well, so he may be buying somebody who is probably going to be worth 70 or 80 million in the future. We never know. And they've got they scoured the Portuguese market and getting in these players. So as I said, I didn't know where to pitch this one, because although I haven't heard of some of these players, but who had heard of Diego Jota from last season? And some of these players who they brought in before who proved to be really good buys. So you know what? Yeah, so that's why I'm sort of giving it a mid-table rating. Leicester got rid of Chilwell, but and they've brought in a couple of players. Scrolling through. Sorry, on Leicester, what's the guy's name? Yeah, Castaniglia, whatever his name is. Sorry about the pronunciation. He looks good in the first 4 games of the season that he's played. He can play as a right back or a left back, so he's quite versatile. And that's another smart buy by them. And Fofana, apparently he's highly rated. He's one for the future. West Ham were after him. So this guy, expect big things from this guy in the future. But they didn't do a lot of deals in the transfer market. That's why they're just hovering around the middle mark. Leeds United, again, players you probably won't have heard of, but Bielsa, I think, is a fantastic manager, and he's Helder Costa. They've turned that move into a permanent from Wolves. Goodbye for them. Jack Harrison they've kept on loan, another decent one. Rodrigo, I think that's a good signing. He'll score the goals to keep them in the Premier League for next season. And Rafinha is meant to be a real pacey winger they've bought from Rennes. So and Kush, the German international. So some good smart buys for that level. So enough. I think they've done enough to stay in the Premier League for next season. Next up is Liverpool. Not enough for me. Liverpool, the squad depth, as you saw, when 2 or 3 of their players are out, they get beat 7-2. So I think they should have got some more to bolster this squad. Apparently they said they haven't got enough money to get, but they've got a couple. Jota's a good signing for them. I think he'll cover across the front line. When Thiago gets going, that's one of the signings of the season. Fantastic player, world-class talent in the midfield. But I think they could have done with a better goalkeeper, because as you saw with Adrian, when Alisson's out, then they struggle. So had they got in another goalkeeper, then maybe it could have been a better window. And they've also got the Greek guy to cover at left back. And then I'll pitch Newcastle. I thought they did some smart buys because they needed a striker. Newcastle, obviously, with Joe Linton not scoring any goals as a top striker. No goals in the Premier League last season, really? Or was it 1? I don't know, sorry. But they've got someone who can score the goals now to make them a mid-table side, I think. So Callum Wilson was a good buy. They also had a smart buy by getting his mate from Bournemouth as well. So what's his name, Ryan Fraser. And I like the left back, obviously the one who Liverpool were after as well, Jamal Lewis. I thought they made 3 smart signings there, enough to let them, get them in comfortable at mid-table. Aston Villa, they're next up. Great signings, as you saw with Ollie Watkins destroying Liverpool the other day. Ross Barkley on loan, that's another one. He's already built up a telepathic understanding with Jack Grealish. And so who else have they got? Martinez, the goalkeeper from Arsenal as well. So last season their goalkeeping position was a problematic, but Martinez will make them stronger. And they brought in Matty Cash as well from Nottingham Forest. So some really smart buys. And Traore, another one with a Chelsea connection. Traore, once he looks class already. I saw that volleyed finish he scored, that cushioned finish in his first game. And yeah, he'll give them a bit of creativity up front. So yeah, great window for Aston Villa. Man City next up. They improved on the back line. They were short on back line, so they would have been lower down if they didn't get Diaz. Diaz for me is exactly what they need to replace Kompany, because Kompany, they're missing that leadership. Ruben Diaz has got that leadership quality. He's been captain of his side in Portuguese football, from all levels of Portuguese football, from under 17s all the way up. So this guy is a leader. He's gonna he's a strong, nasty player. He's one of these defenders, tough tackling, yeah. And with Aki as well, because it's good cover, because with the other guy, Laporte, always getting injured. So you've got Aki as a left-sided player. He can play left back as well, so he's quite versatile. And they've got Ferran Torres, he replaces Sané. So the only thing I'll say that Man City didn't strengthen, which they need, is another striker, because Aguero's becoming injury prone now, and you can see what happened. They've got no Aguero, no Jesus, and they were struggling. So they should have got another striker for me to to put them higher up the transfer league table. Arsenal, they pulled it out yesterday with the Partey deal, and that's a massive deal for Arsenal. And they made some good buys. Willian was a smart buy for them as well, and Gabriel, at the back, so they're going to be tougher to play against. So those three are the ones. So there's some nice smart buys from Arsenal. So I think, yeah, so they're in my top four. And at number 3, I'm giving it to Tottenham Spurs. And Tottenham, that's Jose, that's what he does. He comes in, assesses the situation, sees what needs to be done, and then he gets the job done with his transfers. So he's brought in some decent players. Højbjerg, what a performance yesterday. You saw what he did the other day, breaking that play, getting the ball, passing it, and giving a bit of steel in the midfield. Joe Hart as a reserve team goalkeeper, Matt Doherty on the right, and he's pushing. Now you see the other guy who scored a goal. What's his name? Can't remember the right back who scored against. So he's pushing him to higher levels. Reguilon, as a guy that Chelsea were linked with, he's added a bit of onto that left hand side. So yeah, some good sign. And the main of Vinicius is finally they brought in a guy who can cover for when Harry Kane is out injured. And they've got, this is the one, Gareth Bale. It may depend, it could go two ways with Bale. If he can produce the Real Madrid performances of yesterday, or even when he was when he was at Tottenham first off, this will be like a 10 out of 10 window. But if Bale doesn't hit those heights again, then you never know. But it's still a decent window, even if Bale doesn't perform to his highest level, but it's still a great window because they've addressed a lot of the areas that needed to be addressed. And second place is in Everton. Everton have had a fantastic window. So what I like, they've got now a balance in midfield. So what those 3 signings have done, they've totally transformed Everton. Look at Everton now. They've got a box-to-box in Decore. They've got a holding midfielder in Allen, and in Rodrigo Hammers, they've got that creativity they need. So the dynamics have automatically changed, and you can see at the early start of the season how they are playing and gelling. He's got a centre-back in yesterday, and he's also got a goalkeeper in, because what I was saying about Everton, their goalkeeper at the moment, England international keeper, he's making a few mistakes at the moment, Jordan Pickford. So they've brought in this guy, Robin Olsen from Roma, to push him and give him competition. And as I said, they brought in the guy from Norwich, Godfrey. So great window for them. And without blue tinted glasses, guys, I thought this was a fantastic window for Chelsea, so they've got to be at top of the league. And okay, some of their players haven't hit the ground running yet, but guys, once these guys hit the ground running, you're going to see a different beast with Chelsea. Timo Werner, they needed a goal getter. He's come in. Okay, he hasn't scored yet, but rest assured, he will start scoring goals. Hakim Ziyech, we've upgraded that right-hand side with great delivery for Hakim Ziyech. Left back, badly needed a proper left back. We've now got one in Ben Chilwell. Great debut for him. Okay, Thiago Silva, somebody with experience and composure, someone who can organise the back line. Tick, done it, we've got it. A creative, top, stellar player in Kai Havertz, the main man. You know, he's going to be showing in years to come that what a great purchase this is. This guy is going to be generational. You know, we use the word generational talent. It bands around a lot, but this guy is a generational talent. You know, he will be showing what he can do as he gets used to the pace of the Premier League. And finally, Edouard Mendy, you know, our goalkeeping position last year cost us in a lot of games. We've got that in a goalkeeper now who's dominant, good, imposing figure. So the only thing that Chelsea didn't address was probably the holding midfield, a natural holding midfielder, having that in there. So that may be addressed in January, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. But for me, Chelsea win the transfer window. So let me know what you think, guys. Comment below. I'd like to hear from not only Chelsea supporters, I'd like to hear from supporters from other clubs as well. Tell me what you think about this window, guys. If you like the content that we're doing, please like, subscribe, turn on all post notifications, let me be notified every time we make a video. Until then, guys, take care and see you later. Bye-bye.